Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Trading. I'm still Randy. You're still here. And today we're still talking about Bitcoin. And we're actually going to stay on Bitcoin for a whole video, even as we go into our trading tips. Not much going on the trading side today again. So we're going to stick to tips. And I got some good ones for you. We're going to go back to Bitcoin during two bear cycles ago to kind of watch a reversal in play. All right, let's get to the current charts. In the current charts, we are stuck with Bitcoin distributing right now. Yesterday closed with a pretty big candle that ended up closing all the way down at about the low of the day. It was a little bit off the low of the day, but not that much. Volume also picked up just a little bit above average. And so you can see since we broke up here, which didn't have a lot of volume, the subsequent day did have a lot of volume, and we've been stuck being bearish ever since. Still have a little bit of time to go until this trend line is tested, and so we can try to turn it around. But once these trend lines get broken, and you will see trend lines on my chart often, mainly as guideposts, and they work really well when they're drawn correctly. I will do a trend line drawing lesson for you next week sometime, just to get the fundamentals of drawing trend lines down. Most people draw them wrong. It's really not that difficult, but I don't think they're taught correctly. So anyway, yeah, that's really what's going on with BTC. Not a whole lot. It's just chopping at the moment, and there's not a lot of edge in the market. Anytime you're trading, you have to have some kind of an edge. And I don't know what type of trader has an edge in the market, because there's also different kinds of traders. And I don't know who has an edge in this market, but not too many people, I'll tell you that. All right, let's get to our lesson for the day. And so I got to go all the way back here to past there, all the way back down to here. So here's the 2013 top leading to our 2015 bottom and our double bottom in the third quarter. Maybe it's the second quarter of 2015. I don't know. It's August. You tell me. So remember, we talked yesterday about things that are just kind of free floating downward. You don't want to be involved in them. So this is an interesting opportunity to talk about kind of a failure in the downtrend and then a continuation in the downtrend. So as you can see here, Bitcoin had a massive parabolic rally, and you'll often see this in crypto bull runs. So you're going to see this type of a pattern in certain coins during runs. Not every coin is going to have this. We're pretty mature, I think, at this stage in cryptocurrency, so we're past some of these, but you have some small coins that do this. And then once they put in a definitive top, and they put in a lower high and a lower high and a lower high, then you can start drawing resistance lines, which are what these trend lines are. Now, if you notice, this one follows it pretty nicely. You're going to hear out there you shouldn't mess with the trend line with less than 3 touches. I don't find that accurate most of the time, but the more time it touches a trend line, the more important the trend line is. And here you can see it touches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then breaks on the 6th time. Okay, so if you're looking for this trend line to break to the upside, one really good way to view this chart is what I'm going to show you. First of all, you're looking for a low. So let's identify our lows. Okay, and second, you're looking for some kind of a consolidation above that low. So here you're looking here. There's really nothing here. Here you're looking here. Here you're looking here and here. Notice there's really not a second one. Maybe I guess you could call that. This one doesn't really have a second one, but this one comes down. So this small base, it's not a big problem. This didn't work out. This one's much nicer because it takes more time. Anytime you have these sideways structures that take a period of time, those are good. Those are called consolidations or bases. And when you have those form into a point of resistance, and it could even be a horizontal resistance as you come up and form a little consolidation under that horizontal level of resistance, that's a very good time to consider looking at trades. And to show you that on a horizontal, actually can do that over here at the 4,200 level. So here you go, 4,200. You have a horizontal level of resistance right there, and notice towards the end of it you start to kind of perk up. It's a little more upward sloping than sideways, but I think you get the point. We start to get tighter action as we lead to that resistance. Okay, so that's something really good to look for when you're in these reversal points. So back to our original chart here. So here you've got, you know, a failed attempt to go higher, and every time you place one of these, what you can do is find the resistance point, which is basically at the prior high, basically at the prior high, basically at the prior high. And that's always a very natural buy point. But there's another buy point, which is on this long trend line that's been, so this is a good one. It's been here for a long time, and then it breaks. And look what happens when it breaks. It breaks phenomenally, goes up, really good volume. This is like 400% above average volume, and it goes on a nice run, okay? But it stalls out. So does that mean that this wasn't valid? No, because as we're going through now in the markets, the market can get excited for a short period of time and then just remember, oh yeah, this market actually sucks, and then give it away again. So we've done all this work up here, and you take a trade here, maybe you get it really good, you're up 50%, and then you're holding it, and then you're holding through a base up here. This is actually what's called a cup and handle base. Cup and handle base is an uptrend, and you form some type of a curled base, and then you form some type of a handle, which is a low volume decline that doesn't really decline much in price. So that's a cup and handle, but that fails, and then you have to exit this trade after that failure. So, but then you go back into this larger choppy trend. Okay, now we do have another attempt here, but notice that one gets stalled out really quickly. So here you have another kind of a trend line, and then you have a low, then you have a higher low, and here's a cup that forms above that low. So this is good for a reversal. Now, I'm going to say good for a reversal doesn't mean guaranteed to work. This is trading. This is not simple. So you have a reversal here, really good volume, but then you get slapped down with higher volume, and that tells you that, okay, we're still not ready. All right, so that happens. And then from there, you're still not interested. Then you move into a situation. Here's another cup right here. This one never attempts a breakout. It actually just meanders lower. And notice how long this consolidation is compared to what we've really had over here. You haven't had a horizontal period for this long. So this does tell you that things have shifted in terms of price action. So here it's a pretty aggressive down move leading to a cup, to a small consolidation that rolls over. And this was never real. This is not a handle. Handles should not go above the left side of the cup. So while this one, let me zoom in here. So while this one you can see there's a high and the right side of the cup never gets to the left side of the cup high, that's a good handle. And there's more nuances to this I can't go into right now. But this one is not. It blows past the prior high. That means this is a breakout, and this should keep going. But it doesn't. So this is not a handle. This is a failed high, is what that is. But then you have, here's a cup and handle, right? Small uptrend, doesn't break the prior high. But then here you've got this long consolidation going sideways. Much different than anything you've seen since the top. So this is what I call a change in behavior. And these changes in behavior you have to pay attention to because you don't know when they're going to go, but then they're going to go. And here you have a spike. So here's an attempt at the same high, which is what my box represents. This is your range. So you attempt the high, you fail, you go to the low, attempt the low and fail. So you can't go higher, you can't go lower. Now everybody's confused and pissed off. And that's just what they want because they eventually run it up. And so here's another parabola, and then just rinse and repeat what I said. Here's a parabola, you're at a high, you're basically done at this point. And then this is a large cup and handle. So there's your uptrend, there's your cup, there's your handle. And notice, again, like what I just said, even on a horizontal, which is kind of what this line represents here in the top of this box, you've got a low, slow sideways. Okay, I could even extend this out further, obviously. And then boom, it starts to break out. Volume's really good now, 3 good days in a row, and then we don't look back. And the reason we don't look back is because we broke up this lower consolidation. So this is an example, and you can take this in a number of ways, but this is an example of how to reverse a market. You have failed attempts at rallies pulling in bulls. You have prolonged periods of downtrend wearing them out. And then you have these horizontal markets which wear people out even further, and they also confuse people because you have failed attempts to go higher and failed attempts to go lower. So all of these are things you're going to see in different time frames and in different ways. It's not just so simple to say, oh, 2 lows and I'm done. It's an ever-telling, the story unravels over time. And during that storytelling, you can start to see, okay, I can't go higher, so the bears are in control. Okay, now I can't go lower, so the bulls are in control. Okay, bears are in control, bears are in control, bears are in control, bulls are in control. We broke through, so the bulls have control. Make sense? So it's that constant battle between the bulls and the bears. It's not just as simple as a price pattern and a trend line. But once you kind of get the feel for this, once you know when you're out of the woods and the uptrend begins, it's a lot easier to hold with that uptrend. All right. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Kind of a long one, but thanks for sticking with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer any of the questions you guys have. Have a great day. I'll see you next week on Altcoin Buzz Trading.